Welcome to Tea and Tarot with me, your host, Yashna. Each week I'll share what I've learned as I dive deeper into the world of tarot. I've got my cards in front of me, my cup of tea, and I can't wait to share this journey with you. This is Tea and Tarot. Hello and welcome to Tea and Tarot with me, your host, Yashna. Today I am going to be doing something totally different. I am going to be doing my first ever album breakdown. Instead of breaking down the cards like I have been, I decided I'm going to take an album that I love and really try and connect each song to one of the tarot cards that holds a similar meaning. This idea came to me as I was really starting to dive into all of the cards and starting to understand some of the deeper meaning behind them. I had done a reading for myself that pulled out the Four of Cups card, and the next day as I was listening to my playlist mix in the car, I heard Slim Pickins, and in my head I immediately was like, oh my god, the Four of Cups, that is the card for the song. This song is the Four of Cups. It just clicked in my head, and suddenly all I could do as I was listening to my playlist in the car was think about what card fits each song. And the reason it works so well is every tarot card tells a story. So is every song. I am a big lyrics listener when I listen to music. So I'm really paying attention to what is the deeper meaning in the song? What is it trying to tell me? And so the songs resonate in a certain way. Each tarot card resonates in a certain way. And more often than not, there is an overlap between them. So as I am a huge music lover, and for my friends and family listening to this, you guys know this to be true, but I usually talk in lyrics and movie quotes all the time. So I have lyrics in my head all the time, and now tarot has become another part of my personality, so I figured why not combine the two interests. And I suck at foreshadowing, I suck at Easter eggs, but I try to channel my inner Taylor Swift and drop a little Easter egg in my Thanksgiving episode for which album I'm gonna do this for first. I don't know if anyone caught it, but I am starting this off with Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. I went to her show in LA recently and I absolutely loved it. And given Slim Pickins is the first song that just clicked in my head, I figured this is a sign that this is the album I have to start doing this with, and then I will do it on more and more over time as I'm able to. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've got my Sabrina tour shirt on. I have my I'm working late hat next to me, and I will throw that on when we get to that song. But throughout this episode, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the track list, and with each song, I am going to talk about which card I think fits the song and why. As I go through each song, I'll be breaking down some of the lyrics, what the song really means, what message it's conveying, as well as the card and why I picked that card for that song. And as I go through this, I might be spilling a little bit of actual tea as well, because I know too much about pop culture, gossip, whatever. Okay, I obviously don't, because I don't know what the words are for it, but I see much gossip on my feed all the time. And I know it is not all true, but as I love diving into the lyrics and knowing what each song means, usually you can connect like, okay, based on the song, this type of thing happened to Sabrina, to other people. So I'm going to share a little bit of the gossip of what I think each song is about, who it might be about. Just know that it could all be fake. It could be fake news. And then obviously for copyright reasons, I can't play every lyric I'll be talking about, so I will be saying them. I'm going to apologize now if I sing some of them, because you try saying lyrics that you love without actually singing them. But my voice isn't the greatest, so I apologize in advance. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. But Anyways, I'm ready to do this. This is going to be so exciting and so much fun. I've got my cup of tea. I have some coconut pineapple tea that I got from Hawaii. It is very good. And I have it in my Phenomenal Woman mug because Sabrina is a phenomenal woman and she deserves to be part of this mug. Anyways, let's get started with this. Okay, you guys ready to do this? Let's go. The first song we're breaking down, the first song on the track list, and also a phenomenal song and music video. First song we're breaking down is Taste. First song on the album, and I am partnering that with the Seven of Swords card. The music video for the song is amazing and definitely enhances the lyrics for the song and its general meaning. Before we really dive into all these songs, I do need to give a little bit of lore for anyone not familiar with it, so I don't need to share it for every single song. But most of this album is about the situationship between Sabrina and Shawn Mendes. I think it lasted for about a month or so, 2 months, something like that. Now, as I said before, this is all total gossip and none of it could be true. None of it has been confirmed by either party, but the lyrics are pretty telling, and this is just what I am choosing to believe as I'm enjoying this music immensely. And also trying to understand where the hurt and where some of the wounds are in these songs to pair the best card with it. So anyways, Sabrina and Shawn had a situationship of sorts after Shawn and Camilla first broke up. But their relationship was really short, and soon after there is a huge media flurry when Shawn and Camilla were seen back together at Coachella making out. And after they were caught or seen, not caught, they were doing it publicly, but after they were seen making out at Coachella, they got together again but broke up pretty quickly after that, and they have not gotten together again since. But this song is totally nodding to that whole situation, and while Sabrina and Shawn were totally done by the time he got back together with Camilla, or I think they were, I actually don't know the timeline that well. Anyone who's been in a situationship knows that those can hurt deeply, and especially when you fall for the other person really quickly, but they do not fall for you the same way, it hurts. And that is where we get the masterpiece that is short and sweet. We also got the masterpiece Tortured Poets Department because of a messy situationship, so they suck, they hurt, make great content later on. Shawn got back with his ex, they broke up. Literally, the lyrics in Taste are all about, the lyrics and the music video is about these two women fighting with each other back and forth over a man before he ends up becoming collateral damage in all of this fighting. And as they both attend the funeral, they make up. They also made out before that, but they make up and walk off together. And throughout the lyrics and just like the general theme of the song, Sabrina's constantly like, okay, you guys are back together, but every time you are, you're just going to taste me on him because I was already there. So that's the tea there. Now, how does this tie to the Seven of Swords? This card is all about deception and betrayal, which is literally the entire theme of this song. In the card, a man acts stealthily after stealing something from the crow's nest. The crow screams in outrage, seeing that something's been taken from her nest, but doesn't see the thief who is sneaking away. It embodies trickery and wanting to understand someone's true intentions. When the card is in its reverse meaning, it adds more layers of secrets and something being stolen from you. Given the context of the song and the music video, I think it really fits that image. The lyrics that really, really resonate with this tarot card for me are, and every time you breathe his air, just know I was already there. And you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. So, yeah, that's Taste. That's the first song paired with the Seven of Swords. And now, on to the next song of the album. Please, 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 don't prove I'm right. Yes, we are moving on to Please, Please, Please. The card that I chose for the song is the Hanged Man. Before jumping into why I chose this card, we need to add to the lore of this album. After the whole situationship with Sean went south, her next public relationship with Barry with Barry, who is an Irish actor. Some of the lyrics definitely allude to the song being about him, but one of the most telling things is he is literally the acting lead in her music video for the song. Can we take a moment to appreciate how iconic that is? Because I was shocked when I saw that Barry was going to play the male lead in this music video. That's crazy and amazing. But the Hanged Man card is all about letting go and surrendering to what's going on around you. It can also mean stepping into something new and needing to realign yourself for that. In the card, a woman is strapped into an aerial yoga sling and is suspended as she awaits answers from the universe. She knows she needs a moment to pause and learn her own truths, as well as the truths from the world around her. In the reverse position, it could mean self-sabotage or not fully trusting yourself or trusting what's going on around you. The lyrics that really tie these messages together are, please, please, please don't prove I'm right. Please, please, please don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Sabrina's stepping into a new relationship and she wants it to work, but she's also hurt by what she's seen in the past. So all she can do is ask her partner to act rightly, to treat her right, to not embarrass her, but she doesn't have control over the situation necessarily, so she's letting go and hanging in suspension, hoping he'll do right by her. And all she can do is hope for it to work out and trust that things will fall into place if she really wants another relationship to work. So that is why I kind of link them together. Please, Please, Please isn't necessarily a song about letting go or waiting to see how things happen, but the parts that I think really do link together is this trust she is putting out there of, I want this to work, I want this relationship to happen, so I am just going to put my trust out there. I'm just going to wait and see what happens, and please don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Am I right? That is probably my favorite line from this entire song. That might be one of my favorite lines in the album, only because I repeat it all the time, but definitely from this song. Moving on through this album. The next song on the album is Good Graces. I'm a fan of every song on this album, so I guess I really shouldn't say that every time we move on to another one, but I love the entire bits where she goes, I won't give a fuck about you, I won't give a fuck about you. Anyways, next song, Good Graces. I am tying that to the Seven of Wands. There isn't a lot more lore to add to the song since it's pretty self-explanatory, but the one thing I would say is that people often criticize women for writing about their exes or saying they only write about their love lives. And sometimes the men in question get upset that they're the topic of a song. So this is really Sabrina's fair warning to them that they shouldn't do something that's worth writing about or something that will get on her bad side, because then what she does is out of her hands. The Seven of Wands is a card about grounding and protecting yourself and trying to stay ahead. The story in this card is there is a woman who's climbed to her perch, and the moment she does, people start criticizing her and telling her she isn't fit to be up there. So she closes her mind off to the hatred and focuses on protecting herself and defending her position and her heart. This song is about Sabrina protecting her heart. She wants to be vulnerable and she wants to be open to love, but she also knows she needs to protect herself first. And if her partner hurts her, she's ready to fight back and put herself first. The obvious lyric for the song and card is, I don't give a fuck about you, but also, break my heart and I swear I'm moving on, really embodies the message of this card as well, because she is open, she's willing to give it another shot, but ultimately she is protecting herself and her best interest, so you better stay in her good graces. The sharpest tool in the shed. The next song we're talking about is Sharpest Tool, and this song is linked to the Nine of Swords card. Going back to some of the prior lore about Sean and Camilla, this is another song that really alludes to that messy love triangle situation. The lyrics talk about how Sabrina's short relationship with Sean ended and how she deals with some of the aftermath of not getting closure from everything that happened. There's a very clear hint that he's back with his ex, and she says, we never talk about how you found God at your ex's house. Hello. And overall, she's just talking about the silence after the relationship ended and how that silence is deafening. And as it widens, she's left anxious about what happened, why it ended, how things ended, wondering what went wrong here. Why was she not enough? And the Nine of Swords card is all about nightmares, worry, depression, and anxiety. In the imagery of the card, a woman is already panicked and anxious, and it's only made worse as the crows continue to swarm her. She feels cornered and doesn't see any escape, so she remains trapped in this nightmare, continually haunted by the cawing around her and the crows she wishes would just leave her alone. The lyrics that really made me connect this song to this card is, seems like overnight I'm just the bitch you hate now. A lot of the other lyrics tie into like, guess I'll waste another year wondering if that was casual, then I'm an idiot. I'm looking for an answer in between the lines. Sabrina is running the situation over and over in her mind, and it's making her more anxious. It's causing more worries. It's basically a nightmare that she is reliving over and over as she's trying to figure out what happened and why suddenly she's this person that's hated. So that's really why I tie them together, because for her in this song, in this situation, she is stuck in this moment of anxiety, of depression, as she's trying to figure out, like, how do I get out of it? What happened? I just want to know. One note I do want to share about the card's imagery as a message of hope, because the Light Seers deck is all about hope and finding path forward, even with some of the darker cards, is that there's a white dove coming to her rescue and serves as a message of hope for anyone who might resonate with that feeling of being trapped. So there is a white dove trying to come in and help calm all the crows cawing. Okay, continuing through the album, the next song that we're talking about is Coincidence. This very much is about the messy love triangle that has been discussed throughout this entire album. But we'll get back to that in a moment. The card that I am tying to Coincidence is the Five of Cups. This card is about grieving, disappointment, and bitterness. In the card, she has 5 cups that were once full, but slowly they've drained away, just like her love and trust in relationships. She has one last cup that's full, but she drains that too as she bitterly thinks about the end of her relationship and no longer trusts that there's happiness, which is truly unfortunate. While the card's meaning is a tad darker than how the song feels when you listen to it, the themes are very similar. Like I said, the song really focuses on the whole Sean Camille lore. If you remember what I mentioned about Coachella, that happens at Palm Springs, so the entire set of lyrics. Your car drove itself from LA to her thighs. Palm Springs looks nice, but who's that by your side? Damn it, she looks kind of like the girl you outgrew. At least that's what you said. Yeah, like the song is kind of about how the entire time they were in this relationship, she always felt like there was something else going on. And then the moment they broke up, he went straight to his ex, who he had claimed he had moved on from. And in this moment where Sabrina's been left behind as the exes reunite, she is left alone and bitter at the end of what she thought was a real and true relationship. And that's why I tied these together. From the start, she thought something was going to happen. And one of the lines that kind of emphasizes that is, and without her even being here, she's back in your life. So obviously there is already insecurity about the relationship, and when she's proven right about those insecurities, all she feels is disappointment and bitterness, and she's just upset because no one ever wants their insecurities to be right or to come to light. Yeah, that's coincidence. Na 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 na. Okay, next song is Bed Chem, which I've linked to the moon. We're jumping back to Sabrina's relationship with Barry as she sings about some of their beginnings and the instant chemistry between the two. I love this song so much, and I think this is probably my second favorite on the album after Juno. I picked the moon for the song because this card is all about mystery, uncertainty, trusting your intuition, and facing your fears. In the card, there are two wolves howling at the moon. One is affectionate while the other is cunning. One wants to protect her while the other wishes to harm her, but from under the water, she can't tell which is which. As she tries to surface and get back on her path, the water weighs her down and she begins to panic. But as she begins to get stressed, the moon's light breaks through the water and helps guide her to safety. And with the moonlight continuing to guide her, she's able to tell which wolf is her companion. Sabrina has just come out of a relationship that hurt her deeply, so opening herself up to someone else feels similar to the woman stuck underwater. There's some guiding light with her intuition, but she's really opening herself up and being completely vulnerable again as she takes this next step. I know the song is mostly about their sexual tension and the chemistry, so maybe it's not that deep, but fantasizing about someone else and moving towards them really vibes with the moon and is what I think about when I'm listening to this song. The lyrics that really resonate are, "See it in my mind, let's fulfill the prophecy," and but we have really good bed chem, skipping to, "Oh, it just makes sense how you talk so sweet." She's literally fantasizing about this guy. She's imagining that he's this really great person, that they're gonna click, that she's gonna be really happy when she's with him. And the moon is all about that uncertainty and that mystery of what is gonna happen. Will it be okay or not? And she's stepping into this, but she wants to open herself up again and face, I guess not face her fears, but she is kind of facing her fears of the past relationship didn't end well, but she is opening up despite that and starting anew. And with that, we are about halfway through the list of songs on Short and Sweet. Okay, moving on to the next song on this album. We're on to Espresso, which was also the first single that Sabrina released and the one that blew up and also just made Sabrina into the #1 pop star she is right now. You may have noticed I just donned on my I'm working late hat because obviously that's a line from the song and I love this hat. So the card that I link with Espresso is the Queen of Wands. Continuing from Chem, Sabrina now has a lot more confidence in this new relationship and is basically the caffeine that her partner is addicted to. The Queen of Wands is confident, bold, and passionate. She exudes her charm and charisma, and when she enters a room, her smile captures everyone's attention and lightens the hearts of those around her. In the card, she is sitting on her desert throne, surrounded by her memories, her people, and her irresistible energy. She uses her optimism and positivity to overcome her fears and spread light. In Espresso, Sabrina is so confident and she owns her charm and charisma, as she should. She knows she's got a hold on this guy, presumably Barry, and loves it. Say You Can't Sleep, Baby I Know, That's That Me, Espresso, and I love the energy of the song and how self-assured Sabrina sounds again, and it immediately made me connect Espresso to the Queen of Wands, who is the most self-assured and charismatic of the deck. As a side note, I do really love the line, I'm working late because I'm a singer. And I use it all the time because I usually am working late in my day job. I'm also working late to try and bring this content to you. So I hope it comes out good and I hope people enjoy this breakdown because I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's really cool to link the tarot deck to all these songs, but we'll see. We'll see if anyone else thinks it's cool. Yeah. Espresso, man, what a song for her career.
You're so dumb and poetic. It's just what I fall for. I like the aesthetic.
Next song on the list is Dumb and Poetic. This song is linked to the Eight of Cups card. And this card is all about letting go and releasing some of the old energy that kept you stuck for so long. In the card's imagery, a woman has spent the last week performing a burning ceremony, and on the 8th day depicted, she can finally walk away. She's burned her old habits and feelings and is ready to move on. While she walks away, there's still an undertone of disappointment and abandonment as she walks away from what she knew before to step into a fresh new reality. The reason I chose this card for Dumb and Poetic is because the undercurrent of the song really reminds me of this card. In the lyrics, Sabrina shares that she's disappointed with the subject and calls him out on every shitty thing he's ever done. The lyric, "Just 'cause you act like one doesn't make you a man," really summarizes it all. And beyond how the subject of the song has hurt her and continues to act like a boy, she knows the truth and is moving past it. The line, "But baby, you put us in this situation," kind of shows that he's the one still lingering, not her, but the hurt is still there, as seen with the lyric, "Fuck with my head like it's some kind of fetish." There's no hint that she wants to get back with this person. She sees who he is and is just trying to share that truth with him so he can grow, or, for whatever reason she wants to share it. And for that reason, she's releasing this old energy that she was stuck on for a while, seeing and understanding the truth, and ready to move on to something better. So you can kind of see how the two tie together. I also think it's funny that in the card, the woman has performed the burning ceremony because it's that age-old, how do you get over your ex suggestion that comes up over and over of burn their stuff, burn their things. And this is kind of similar to that, which I think is really funny. But now that I've broken down the song, I do want to share more of the gossip mill tea for the song. Some think the song is actually about Joshua Bassett, who is one of Sabrina's older exes, or past exes. That relationship was also a very messy triangle of feelings that involved Olivia Rodrigo. Love her too. But maybe I'll go into that more when I break down one of Olivia's albums, or if I break down emails I can't send sometime in the future. But the reason people think it's about him is because of some of the general hints around his favorite phrase being love everything, which Joshua has alluded to in some of his music, talking about Leonard Cohen and the mushrooms. Though I think Sean and Joshua have both talked about shrooms in the past. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is just what pops up in my feed. I also did no additional research on any of this gossip, so this is just what I remember from it all popping up in my feed when everything happened. When everything happened and when this album released and everyone was sharing their first initial takes of what these lyrics could mean. And now we move on to the next song on this album, Slim Pickins, which I can very much relate to. I linked this card to the Four of Cups. I already mentioned this at the top of the episode, but this was the first kind of song and card linking that I did, which is super cool. I will always be reminded of this now. But the Four of Cups is the epitome of boredom and apathy. In the card, a woman sits bored, staring into the distance. She's frustrated that the world can't provide her with what she wants, and she's disappointed with everything that she has right now. Nothing looks great to her. Everything is just this lackluster gray. And does that not immediately remind you of the song Slim Pickins? It just clicked. No wonder this is the one that clicked when I was on my way to work one day. The lyrics that really relate to this card's meaning are, since the good ones are deceased or taken, I'll just keep on moaning and bitching. And especially, a boy who's nice that breathes, I swear he's nowhere to be seen. And you know what, Sabrina? I agree. Why are all the good ones deceased or taken? I would like a good one myself. Continuing some of the album lore, people speculate the song's probably about Shawn Mendes, given the line, this boy doesn't even know the difference between there, and they are. Shawn has some past tweets where he misused those together, and I saw some posts where people scrunched up those old tweets to be like, hello, Shawn, where is your grammar check? But really, the entire song is just about compromising and getting with whoever because there's no one of interest around you. And it really just embodies that boredom, frustration, and the apathy that you see in the card as this woman is just staring into the distance like, hello, please, will anything interesting come my way? And Sabrina too sings of, please, oh please, will any nice, kind men come my way instead of these immature boys who really have no business being here. Okay, the next song that we're breaking down is my favorite song on the album, Juno, which I linked to the card, The Star. Before starting to break this one down, I just have to enhance on the fact that this is my favorite song on the entire album. I really love the song, and it was definitely in my top, but it was cemented as my favorite during the Short and Sweet tour because the energy when this song came on was phenomenal. I felt alive and re-energized, so it was amazing. And Sabrina is so funny. I absolutely love the entire bit she did with the pink handcuffs. And the different positions she does. For anyone who doesn't know, there's a lyric in Juno about pink handcuffs. So before she starts the song on the show, she will arrest some random person And I was at LA Night too, so our special guest star was Domingo, which was crazy. He actually did his SNL bit, the Espresso parody they have on SNL, and it was so funny. Everyone in the audience was singing along. And for the positions, during the Juno song, during the line, "Have you ever tried this one?" she actually does some random fun position, and our night was the splits, which, oh my God, it was crazy. And I'm pretty sure that night was recorded, so it might all be part of a concert film or something similar later on. But anyways, I won't keep going on about that. Moving on to the tarot link. The star is about renewed hope and wishes being granted. The woman in the card has emerged from a traumatic path with renewed hope and suddenly sees there's so much ahead of her. She takes a moment to sit and look up at the stars, extending the wishes and dreams that live in her heart and connecting to the potential of a bright future. To be honest, this was a trickier one to pick. I was a bit split between some of the other cards like Lovers and the Two of Cups, which are more focused around relationships. But the star felt more right because the song is about renewed hope and imagining this bright future again. And in this specific case, a bright future with a partner again. The star is also partnered with the moon, which I had picked for Bedchem, and I think that pairs well together because the moon and star are good pairs, and then Bedchem and Juno are really good pairs as well. With some of the other songs on this album, we saw that Sabrina was hurting and raw, but in this song, she's hopeful that this relationship could work. If you love me right, then who knows? I might let you make me Juno is telling of some of her inner hopes to find that person she'll want to have a family with. For anyone unfamiliar, Juno is the Roman goddess of marriage and family. So as she continues to mention Juno, she's really alluding to that throughout this entire song. It also alludes to a movie, Juno, from 2007. This I did find out while I was kind of looking up the lyrics, and I saw this on genius.com. But there's a 2007 movie, Juno, which is about a teen pregnancy, which is why she also has the line, "One of me is cute but two though," alluding to if she had a child with her beau, the guy she's interested in, presumably Barry again, and had a kid who looked just like her. "You Make Me Want to Fall in Love" is so cute and shows she's opening her heart up again to the possibility of real love and something happening in this relationship besides just some hot and heavy sex. So going back to how the song is my favorite, there are so many unhinged lyrics throughout the song, and I have to shout them out because they're all amazing. The "Have you ever tried this one?" Of course, amazing. And also, "God bless your dad's genetics." I freaking love Sabrina. She is so funny.
You don't have to lie to girls.
Like you, they'll just lie to themselves. Don't I know it better than anyone else? Okay, we're nearing the end of the album, so bear with me. The next song is "Lighted Girls," which I have paired with the Two of Swords. This card is about being stuck between two choices, but not knowing how to make a proper choice because you're blind to your options. It's also largely a card that represents denial. The denial bit is what I want to focus on more as it relates to the song in many obvious ways. In the card, a woman is trying to pick which path to go on, but the two crows are providing conflicting opinions on which path to choose. She's torn between what her mind and her emotions are telling her and struggles to decide. Lie to Girls is really about how girls will lie to themselves over and over and over to keep a relationship alive, especially if they love the other person. As someone who has often fantasized about relationships unhealthily and made up truths for it, the song really hits hard. And I think it really relates to this Two of Swords, because when you're in denial, when you are trying to figure out what to do, you do have these two paths. You have the choice to keep lying to yourself, to keep continuing this relationship that you know is not going to work out, or to leave it. But you kind of have this blindfold on yourself so that you can't see which path to take. You can't see how clear it is that you need to get out of this relationship. And kind of interesting in the lyrics of the song is that they're both lying to themselves. First, the guy is lying to the girl to keep her in the relationship, but Sabrina's saying, you don't have to lie because we're already lying to ourselves. Females will lie to themselves over and over for you if they love you. But they're both lying to try and maintain this relationship, which is such a clear sign that they just need to leave it. But they're both blind to the truth and can't see the obvious paths before them. The lyric that really sums this one up for me is, you don't have to lie to girls. If they like you, they'll just lie to themselves. And the other one that comes to mind too for this is, for you they'll cry and girls will lie and do it till the day they die for you.
Don't smile because it happened.
Baby, cry because it's over. I want you to miss me. Okay, sorry. I know I said no singing. Or I was going to try to not sing, but I have to with that one. I had to. I have avoided it most of this episode, but I had to. Don't Smile is the last song on the official album, and this one is paired with the Four of Swords, which I think is kind of fitting as a recuperation song, recuperating end to this album. This card is all about resting and trying to heal in your own personal sanctuary, away from reality and everything else going on around you. In the card's image, this woman has pushed for so long and so hard. That's what she said. And now, sorry. As Sabrina has branded herself as the short, horny woman and has done it so successfully, it seems fitting that I found a place to throw a "that's what she said" joke in there, and I promise that was not intentional. I literally just thought of that as I was reading my own notes that I wrote earlier for this. Anyways, in this card, there's this woman. She has worked very, very hard for a very long time, and now she can finally take a break from everything. She knows the world will continue to move on, but she needs time to heal her heart and soul before she can venture into the world again. While she's focused on her own healing, she's still hurting, but is trying to focus more on self-love to grow past it, which aligns with the repeated "I want you to miss me's," even as she knows the relationship is over. Don't smile because it happened, cry because it's over, is really telling of the heart-wrenching healing that comes after a major relationship in your life. It's done and she can heal, but she's still wounded and needs time to recover. You're happy that something that was bad, something that was never going to end well, is done, that it's over, but you're still heartbroken. You just want to cry. You don't. Yes, there's the bits of celebrating that it's over, but mostly you just want to cry. And as she says, my heart is heavy now, and you think it's happy hour. For me, it's not. She will be able to heal from this, but she needs time to process all the sad and hurt that she is feeling. And to do that, she needs her own personal sanctuary. She needs to find the space where she can really heal and let herself be okay again, just like the woman in the Four of Swords card. And honestly, thank you, Sabrina, for your sanctuary being the microphone, because this album is phenomenal, and I I'm so glad that the way that you processed everything that happened was by creating this phenomenal album with 0 skips and for letting all of us scream these songs with you at the Short and Sweet tour. So that's the whole main album. I am going to also break down the 2 bonus songs that are on her alternate vinyl and CDs. I do in fact have these vinyls, so I've listened to these before, but apologies to anyone not as familiar with these 2 songs. I'll keep them a little more short and sweet in the descriptions. They are great songs though, and I'm really hoping she'll release them for streaming soon. So the first bonus song is Needless to Say. I paired this with the 10 of Swords because this card is all about painful endings. It carries a similar imagery to the 8 of Cups, but generally alludes more to being stabbed in the back and trying to heal from past psychological wounds. In the card, there's a woman who has finally gotten up after seeing the first rays of dawn over the horizon. She's been wounded and is still hurting, but she wants to heal. She looks to the light, starting to peek through, and just wants to feel that warmth and move past what's happened. And if you've listened to the song, you know that's exactly what Sabrina's conveying in the lyrics. The card and the song may not immediately seem to match, but the lyric that really ties them together is so much spite, I bet it's painful. The whole song is about someone continuing to criticize her and her past mistakes, and that specific line shows that the comments are pretty spiteful. My general take on this is that this might be a message for paparazzi and other media articles that criticize everything she does and will scrutinize all her outfits before putting her down. And whether it's the media or whether it is a specific person or one of her exes, it is a wound that is created by this constant criticism that really leaves you hurting, and it definitely leaves a psychological mark on you. So she's trying to heal from that and focus on herself, and she just wants everyone else to focus on themselves more as well. I think that fits the theme of the card, which is trying to move forward, trying to embrace the sun's light, embrace the sun. Tarot cards meaning as well, which is all about happiness and the lighter side of things. And as the song is about self-growth and healing from all those painful comments from the past, they do pair together. Okay, and now the actual last song that I will be talking about today is Busy Woman, which I am linking to the 8 of Swords. In theme with some of the other sword cards, this card is also about open wounds. As you might be able to tell with this imagery, the card's more about feeling stuck and not being able to see the truth around you. In the card, a woman feels bound and blind to what's happening around her, but the more she tries to free herself, the more her binds tighten around her. In the reverse position especially, this card is all about denial and refusing to see the truth of the situation around you. Almost more than the 2 of Swords card from before, this is really a denial card, just in a slightly different flavor. The entire song kind of matches the theme of denial in this card, but one of the most fitting lyrics for me is, yeah, I'm a busy woman. I wouldn't let you come into my calendar any night, but if you want my kisses, I'll be your perfect missus. The entire song is about how she doesn't need this guy and she's doing fine without him, but the moment he calls or the moment he gives a hint that he wants back in, she will drop everything and run back to him and give him her world again. Or really make him her world again. So, yeah, that's kind of the final one. Thanks so much for tuning into this special episode feature where I broke down Short and Sweet. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you have any thoughts on ways to do it better. This was really fun for me, and I want to keep doing this for some other albums that I really love. If you have any thoughts or ideas there, let me know. Reach out in the comments or via email. I'm more than happy to hear from anyone. If this inspired you to dive into the world of tarot, check out some of my other content and join me on my journey as I am learning and growing in my tarot skill sets. Thank you so much for joining me on this special episode, and I can't wait to see you next time. This was Tea and Tarot with Yashna. Cards read. Thank you for listening to Tea and Tarot with Yashna. This episode was produced, hosted, and edited by me, Yashna Bunsel, and brought to you by Tea Time Podcasts. All card visuals were from the Light Seers deck by Chris Ann. All song snippets and lyrics were from Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. All images were pulled from different media sources, but primarily Instagram accounts. Intro and outro music was made using SoundRaw. Join me next week for another episode of Tea and Tarot.